he's certainly not in a good way, because last year he killed thousands of innocents, and that weighed on his shoulders a little bit. And then he went down a path which was completely contrary to who he is, i.e. the pursuit and the dogged pursuit of Cromwell and his death. And then his wife left him, or decided that she loved him no longer. And of course these things would leave any man in a bad place, in a dark place. And so at the beginning I think he realizes his life, or believes his life is winding down to an end, and this is how it's supposed to be, a cold and lonely end. Not as much, you know, he respects the king, and he has to. That's his job as a loyal subject, is to respect the king. But that line, which used to be friendship and duty, well, the king being his friend and also his king, has now slipped into more so being the king and less so being the friend, because the king knew that it was something which was contrary to Charles's character. I think he's saddened by the whole affair, because she was a fool, genuinely a fool to have done such a thing, certainly the way it's played out the Tudors. But she was also a young girl, and I think brutalized by the animal that the English court has become. And so that there's a pity there, but also a sense of it's a hard world, and you really did the wrong thing. So there's mixed feelings. But of course she's a young girl, and I think that saddens him. He's found a reason to live again. He's back doing one of the things he's good at, leading men, fighting. It's a distraction from it's life. He's living, breathing, fearing death again, fearing failure, and it's what he thrives upon. It makes him feel young again. He's chasing his youth, and he finds it in Bologna. In his Brigitte, his mistress, his heart opens again, and life, the colour comes back into life. As opposed to it being a grayscale before, it is now sort of that there is love, there is life, there is death, there is concern and caring for things beyond, for himself. I was going to say things beyond the throne and the kingdom, but finally for himself again. And he's allowed himself to be a bit selfish and go, you know what, I will take a mistress. I'm going to do this. I don't need to sort of allow myself to be miserable because my wife won't see me anymore or sleep with me. I can be happy. I can do the things I want to do. And why not? He likes her. She's got her head together. It's screwed on. I don't think he likes the fact that Henry did nab her off poor Thomas, but then again he doesn't care much for the Seymours. I think he's just kind of sitting back and watching at the moment. It doesn't matter to him how much he likes the Queen or not, because he's made that mistake in the past, liking them or disliking them, and his opinion doesn't matter. He's just got to be damage control and keep an eye on the kingdom while everyone else is doing their thing. Brandon is the only survivor out of all the characters we've seen come and go, because he was that person who provided Henry with a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to cry on, someone to talk to, someone to bounce ideas off, someone to take his boots off next to fire, be normal with. And that was fantastic initially, and then it moved on to the stage of him being a dutiful and loyal subject to the king, and above all others, no one else. I mean, he proved it in 3, as we all saw, that he would kill thousands of innocents, even though the king may have suspected his own personal feelings and where his religion lay. And to expand upon that, the fact that Charles Brandon is sitting there through a reform, even though he's more of a Catholic than anything else, but he's still doing exactly what the king says. So he's a dutiful, loyal, above all other subject. And then it evolves into the fact that there's no one else left. Brandon is the last one left. And so the king is a sentimental man, as insane as he may be. In his moments of clarity, Brandon is the only one left.